For Grenada to realize its true potential, we must all be a part of nation building. From every corner of the world, our sons and daughters carry the spirit of the Spice Isle in their hearts through culture, innovation, investment, and service. Now is the time to come home to your beautiful Tri-Island state to reconnect with our roots, share our knowledge, to inspire our youth, and to help shape a stronger, more resilient economy for generations to come. We are all part of the collective journey to shape the future of our nation. Together, we are building a nation we are proud of, a nation defined by opportunity, unity, and purpose. Grenada is more than a place on the map. It is our heritage, our future, our home. We look forward to welcoming you.
This summer, your plans don't have to wait. Take that dream vacation. Experience Carnival like never before. Invest in your education. Renovate your home. Or finally tackle those big plans you've been putting off. With the Ariza Credit Union Awesome August Loan, you can borrow up to $75,000 for any purpose. Dream bigger, travel farther, learn more, improve your home. Whatever your goal, we're ready to help you get there. Visit any Ariza Credit Union branch. Apply today and turn your plans into reality with fast, convenient financing and the trusted service you have come to expect. Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future. Loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. See us for complete details.
For 40 years, Answer Coatings Grenada has been part of your story. More than paint, it's pride and care in every drop. As the proud manufacturers of Sissons and Berger paint, we've protected your homes and communities for generations. Answer Coatings Grenada Limited, 40 years strong, 40 years trusted. A legacy in every drop.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Of course, we are saying hello and welcome to another Mikey Live program. My name is Mikey Hutchinson. We are coming to you live from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean. Now, it's a lot of celebrations as students and parents and teachers learn the faith of their students as it relates to the CPEA. And yeah, that's where all the excitement is today. As well, temporary traffic restrictions for Simone's Bridge. We'll talk to you about that. And Minister Lennox Andrew is the acting Prime Minister in the absence of Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell. And it's Public Service Day. We'll talk to you about that. There's a special message out from the Minister. Behind the Lens is a new program that we're introducing to you. We will have our first episode tonight. It's a 15-minute program which zeroes in on the works happening at the Ministry of Tourism. So we have all these and more right here on Mikey Live. News discussed, not told. We don't have a horse in the race. We tell you as it is. Things are pretty quiet around here. What about you? I think we're supposed to be experiencing some rain overnight as a tropical wave approaches the islands. We'll talk to you about that as well. Mikey Live, news discussed, not told. Headlines brought to you through the kind compliments of Courts Grenada Limited, Digicel, Nawasa, Real Value, IGA Supermarket. We've got superb distributors. We've got the Riser Credit Union and Grenada Homecoming and all the other sponsors on the business. Thank you so much. To the first-time viewers, we say welcome, welcome, welcome aboard. And to the usual suspects, those of you who are always on the business, well, hello. Folks, we're taking that quick one, and we shall be back shortly.
Welcome to the future of shopping with Real Value IGA mobile app. Now, your favorite supermarket is right in your pocket. Whether you're a student, a busy parent, or in the diaspora shopping for friends and family at home, a Yachty, or a Grenadian, our mobile app has you covered. Shop online with our mobile app from anywhere and enjoy free delivery to St. George and St. David. Or you can pick up your groceries in-store, hassle-free. Convenience, savings, and a seamless experience in Grenada. All right here at your fingertips. Download the Real Value IGA mobile app and start shopping today. Real Value IGA, bringing the supermarket to you.
It's game on. And you may not be able to predict the scoreline or who will win each game. And you sure can't predict who will be the champion. But what is predictable is that Quartz has what you need to watch the games the way you want to every time. It's game on. Quartz, bringing value home.
Hello, I'm leaving the house right now. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Life gets hectic. That's why I registered for myaccount.grenleg.com and chose paperless billing. It was simple. I went to the site and clicked sign up. I then tapped find my new account number, typed in my old number without the zeros at the front, and got my new account number instantly. The new account number is also in the app under the Balances tab or at the top of any recent Grenleg bill. I entered my new account number and the total amount due on my most recent bill, then filled out the profile information and subscription sections. They sent me an email to create a password and sign in. And finally, I signed up for paperless billing, and now everything I need is in one place. Myaccounts.grenleg.com and paperless billing have really brought me peace of mind.
Family members, again, hello and welcome again to another Mikey Live program. Let's get straight into it. Students and teachers, parents, principals, well-wishers, guardians, everybody. Today, they were really excited following the release of the 2026 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, the CPEA results. Now, many of you may know that a total of 1,712 grade 6 students sat the examination across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. That includes 873 boys and 839 girls. The assessment was administered at 72 centers across the island, with 42 schools completing the exam electronically. Yes! Now, the CPEA is generally used to assess students' readiness for placement at the secondary school level. Now, we have not seen an official release as we usually would from the ministry, but that's okay. It can come tomorrow, you know. But a lot of the schools would have received a direct communication from the ministry. Now, it is not usual in recent times that students are kept back. So more likely than not, the majority of persons, unless there's in severe cases, the majority of persons will be moving on. They say up and out, will be moving on to secondary school. What matters to a lot of the students is whether or not they are given the opportunity to attend their first school of choice. And of course, you will hear now, the next thing that comes in line will be transfer requests. Can I be transferred to this school? Can my daughter, can my son? Transfer. Yeah? And I think transfer is based on several factors, but heavily on how well you did overall. You know, like if for example, you place really high, then you're likely to get your first school of choice. And I think they also consider location, etc. You know, so So while some are very excited, some are still lukewarm about the whole thing, understanding that yes, they would have passed, but not for the school of their choice. It is really not the end of the world, really and truly. And whichever school you go to, you will be comfortable there. Believe you me. I mean, just talk to a lot of people who did not get to go to their first school of choice. And they will tell you that, well, you know what, I wanted to go to that school, but when I went to the other one, I met new friends and, you know, XYZ. I lived in Grove, Mount Granby, and I attended school at Happy Hill. So it was a lot of commuting, and at that time, the road wasn't that good, so you had to walk up that big hill. But at first, you know, but then guess what? Eventually, I loved it. And that's why I'm so healthy still, because I walk up Mount Granby during the formative years. I exercise, still working for me and for many more, you know, in terms of your stamina, your agility, and many things. So life is not always going to be about what you want. And if you really believe in God and prayers, you understand that God's will should be done in your life. And if it's His will that you'll be placed in a particular environment, that probably initially you may not be too excited about. Just understand that God has a plan for you and your life. I was happy to go to a school that focused heavily on vocational skills, and so it helped to develop that part of its students. And then later on, you know, you can invest your time in something else, and you become more holistic, more well-rounded. You understand? So yeah, listen, it's gonna be fine. And remember when Wendy Williams used to be on? No, it's gonna be fine. All right, guys. So congrats to everybody. Okay. Once we get the all of the numbers in, we'll probably be able to share that. All right. So we understand that the River Sally Government School has won the Girls Parish Cricket Tournament. We're moving on now. We're no longer in CPE. Playing recently in the final against the players from the St. Louis Girls RFC School, River Sally Government won by 19 runs. All right, we just wanted to highlight that for you. Now, batting first, River Sally Government tallied 88 in 6 overs, while in response, St. Louis RFC Girls were restricted to 69 of the allotted 6 overs. River Sally Government was first, St. Louis Girls was second, Bonnet Government third, and fourth was Carriacou, Our Lady of the Rosary Catholic School. All right, the boys' primary school cricket playoff will take place next week. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Public Utilities, Civil Aviation and Transportation wishes to inform the general public, residents and commuters of temporary traffic restrictions at Seamoon Bridge, St. Andrew, for a period of 1 week. And they say that is to facilitate essential repair works. Now, commencing 29 June, Fisherman's birthday. Yeah. Minor repair work will be undertaken on the bridge daily between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Again, 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. These temporary traffic restrictions are necessary, they say, to facilitate maintenance and repairs to the bridge's structure. During the repair period, no trucks or other heavy-duty vehicles will be permitted to use the bridge. Also, light motor vehicles, including cars and buses, will be allowed to pass. However, delays are expected, and motorists, you are encouraged to exercise patience. The residents and road users within the affected areas will be accommodated as much as possible during that period. Now, all motorists, you are encouraged to proceed with caution, observe all temporary traffic control measures, and comply with the instructions of the traffic personnel on site. The Ministry of Infrastructure apologizes for any inconveniences caused and appreciates the public's cooperation and understanding as these necessary works are carried out. So, Minister Lennox Andrew, my economics professor, told that man have a pose. I took a picture, feature that on the program. Man had a sick pose on the weekend. I think he's breaking the internet with that, if you ask me. Honorable Lennox Andrew, he speaks of the International Public Service Day. All right. I know that they sent us in a little thing. The ministry sent us in a little thing that we are to feature on the business tonight. Who paying for that? Who paying for that? All right. That we are out to feature on our program tonight. And so here comes our minister, Lennox Andrew. All right. In his address, as it relates to public service day.
The following is a message from Honorable Lennox Andrews, Acting Prime Minister, on the celebration of International Public Service Day 2026.
The observance of International Public Service Day 2026, established by the United Nations, recognizes the vital role of public institutions and public officers in advancing national development and improving the lives of citizens. Today, we celebrate the dedicated men and women of the Grenada Public Service, whose commitment, professionalism, and service continue to contribute significantly to the progress and development of our nation. We pause to recognize those who work quietly behind the scenes to keep Grenada's engine running, from the housekeeping staff at the General Hospital and the drivers within our ministries and departments, to planning officers, technical staff, middle managers, and permanent secretaries. Every role is essential to the delivery of public service and the advancement of government priorities. We acknowledge your sacrifices, dedication, and commitment to serving our nation. This year's theme, Transforming Public Institutions, Advancing Innovation, Participation, and Inclusion, is both timely and relevant. Like the rest of the world, the Grenada Public Service is called to adapt to changing realities, embrace new technologies, strengthen public trust, and deliver services that are responsive to the evolving needs of citizens. At the heart of this transformation are you, our public officers. Across all sectors, your dedication makes it possible to implement policies, deliver essential services, and support development throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique. As a government, we continue to advance initiatives aimed at strengthening the effectiveness of the public service through capacity development, institutional improvement, enhanced service delivery, and the digitization of administrative processes. These efforts are intended to ensure that our public institutions remain capable, efficient, and prepared to meet the challenges and opportunities of the future. Through these initiatives, the Grenada Public Service will remain responsive, competitive, and well-positioned to meet emerging national and global challenges, whether in education, healthcare, security, social services, infrastructure, finance, administration, or community development. Your contributions are indispensable. Much of your work occurs behind the scenes, often without public recognition. Yet, its impact is felt in every community and by every citizen. We also remain committed to supporting you through initiatives like the regularization and the establishment of a new pension plan, ensuring a more inclusive and supportive work environment. As we move forward, let us be guided by our core values: being responsive, ethical, people-centered, and professional. Public service is about people, ensuring access to quality services and building trust through integrity and excellence. To every public officer across our Tri-Island state, I extend sincere gratitude on behalf of the government and people of Grenada. Thank you for your dedication, your sacrifice, and your profound pledge to service. Your work matters, Your contributions are valued, and your efforts continue to shape a stronger, more resilient, and more prosperous nation. Happy International Public Service Day 2026, and may God continue to bless you, your families, and the work that you do. Thank you.
The proceeding was a message
thank you,
from Honorable Lennox Andrews, acting.
sir. Hey guys, so it's been a very interesting past few days. We came out of a very active weekend in terms of rain, and we are getting into another couple of days of rain. So on your screen, you are seeing a picture. Now that image gives you an idea as to the closeness of those waves. Okay, now, wave number 1. It says 1 on your screen, 1 closest to us. The axis of a tropical wave is near 60 degrees west, approximately 100 nautical miles east of the island chain, from 17 degrees north southward, moving westward near 10 to 15 knots. Scattered moderate to isolated strong convection is found from 8 degrees north to 12 degrees north, between 56 degrees west and 61 degrees west. So you know what I mean. This wave is expected to maintain cloudy skies and a few light to moderate showers tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, wave number 2. Now, the axis is of a second wave is near 51 degrees west, approximately 628 nautical miles east of the island chain, from 15 degrees north southward, moving westward at 15 to 20 knots. Isolated moderate convection is seen from 7 degrees north to 9 degrees north, between 50 degrees west and 55 degrees west. Now, tropical cyclone formation is not expected or anticipated for the next couple of days for these two systems. Despite this, these systems will be long gone by the time it, if ever, it will be long gone from us. All right, these systems will affect us tonight into tomorrow, and so we should be safe. Now, in terms of the localized weather, we can tell you that the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with a few light to moderate showers. And tonight's minimum temperature is just going to be around 25 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. And the seas moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in easterly swells, and a marine advisory remains in effect. Now, tomorrow is going to be partly cloudy with a few light to moderate morning showers. So we expect the showers in the morning. So tonight straight into tomorrow. 31.5 degrees Celsius is expected to be the maximum, and the minimum just around 25.5 degrees Celsius. Not much change there tonight and tomorrow night. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, and seas moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in easterly swells, and a marine advisory remains in effect. And that's the weather for tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, we have the wave coming. Guys, I want to big up all you. Big up everybody who's always on the program. So, let me do that first, and then we're going to go over to our feature program for tonight, okay? I would like to big up everybody who's on the chat, okay? Let me just go on the chat and see who's there. And before we bring on our feature program for tonight, Bernadette, Suzanne, Barbara, Javar, Liz, Jackie, Jennifer, Gleonora, Joyous, Hazel, Hazeland, Joseph, Diana. Did I say Diana? Did I say Joyous? Eunice, how are you doing? Teresa, again, how are you? And everybody else, like blessings, it's always good to have you guys with us, and to bless the place. You know what I mean? So, right, we are going to be starting a new program. And that program will be done once weekly. All right. We are aiming at Tuesday nights. All right. And it will be called Beyond the Lens. So today we're going to turn our attention to the recently concluded National Tourism Symposium, which was held at Sandals, Grenada. Now the symposium brought together key stakeholders from across the tourism sector, including government officials, industry leaders, tourism practitioners, and private sector representatives, and that is to discuss the future of Grenada's tourism industry. Now, throughout the event, participants explored emerging trends, also opportunities for growth, sustainability initiatives, also workforce development, and strategies to enhance Grenada's competitiveness as a premier Caribbean destination. Now, join us tonight and for the next few weeks as we feature behind the scenes highlights, and those highlights will be focusing on the key discussions as it relates and happenings as it relates to the tourism industry. We're going to be hearing directly from those who are shaping the future of tourism in Grenada. So now I'm happy to present to you our first program. And again, we want you to encourage your friends and so on. Tell them, well, we've started this program and that they should be into it as much as I am into, because I've already encouraged others to tune in for this time so that they can see what this program will be all about. Our presenter, Leslie Ann Johnson.
Leslie Ann Johnson, Coordinator of Communication in the Ministry of Tourism, the Creative Economy and Culture. Welcome to our program, Behind the Lens. On Wednesday, May 20th, 2026, the Ministry of Tourism, the Creative Economy and Culture brought together close to 70 representatives from the public and private sectors for a one-day National Tourism Symposium to discuss how more of the tourism dollar can stay in the country from an industry that contributes just over 40% directly and indirectly to Grenada's gross domestic product. The symposium, which was hosted at Sandals, Grenada, was guided by the theme From Talk to Transaction, Structured Engagement for Tourism Entrepreneurship and Greater On-Island Visitor Spend. It was delivered through fireside structured discussions that embraced three strategic pillars: human capital development, tourism value chain and local spend, and structured engagement and collaborative entrepreneurship. One of the topics discussed was on-island spend imperative, airlift and regional connectivity. The question was posed to Mr. Richard Strawn, Chairman of the Air Transport Licensing Board, as to which human capital gap would worry him most if regional connectivity doubles. His response was that he wants to see Grenada on board with the digitalized world, so that when people come to the country and want to spend money, there is no difficulty in conducting transactions.
I remember the days when American Airlines at the airport just introduced no cash. If you were putting on an additional piece of luggage, you had to pull out your card. And if you didn't have a card, you had to get one. What did we do? We got one. You get on the plane and you want to buy a cheese sandwich, you now have to use your card. Imagine that. Imagine cash, which is legal tender, is not allowed. And that is happening globally. And I think Grenada has the technology. We do. We have the technology. We have the opportunities with phones now, with various banks offering certain things. I've heard of spot pay and other types of payments. What we lack is a mentality. And a lot of it has to do with that 4% charge that banks charge for transactions. Well, there's something called bank charges, and I think businesses and operators and people who are offering goods and services have to realize that bank charges are no different to any other expenses of a business, and it therefore has to be factored in.
That's right. That point was made by Minister for Tourism, the Creative Economy and Culture, the Honourable Adrian Thomas, when he addressed the opening ceremony. He said when visitors arrive, they must be encouraged to stay longer, Return often and spend more, but the right ingredients must be in place.
We must modernize the industry. That means using technology better, improving service standards, strengthening human capital, supporting training, improving the visitor's experience, and ensuring that all stakeholders understand their role they play in national tourism development. We are operating in a digitalized world, and the tourism industry is now driven by speed, convenience, online viability, digital payments, instant bookings, electronic confirmations, and seamless business transactions. Grenada cannot afford to be left behind, especially in the areas such as banking, online payments, point-of-sale services, e-commerce platforms, and digital financial systems that make it easier for visitors to spend and easier for businesses to receive payments. If we want to increase visitors' spend, then we must also make it easier, safer, and faster for visitors to pay for goods, services, tolls, food, craft, entertainment, and authentic local experience across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
In her contribution to the discussion, Nalene Joseph, advisor to the Minister for Tourism, says significant investment must be made to increase airlift in the region.
A serious conversation has to be held at the regional level and at the government level, and Minister, at your level. Because I've attended so many CTO meetings and read so many white papers and pink papers and yellow papers on airlift and connectivity. I've seen islands like Jamaica and many others in the region go belly up with their airlines. And I come back again to Liat. Liat operated like a small bus, flying over 32 islands daily. And for an airline to operate, some significant investment has to be put into it. And it falls under the ambit of our government. We have to be serious. We have to pay to play. And when we have international airlines coming in, we either do it through revenue guarantee or marketing support. But when it comes to ours, as a nation and nations in the Caribbean, to facilitate connectivity, a conversation has to be held on our region and airline, and significant monetary support, because it is an expensive venture, not only with equipment, but the processes as alluded to you. So we have to pay to play.
The second topic looked at human capital for upselling and service with panelist Ms. Suzanne Mason, a human resource specialist. She said employees must be empowered to make simple decisions on their own, feeling safe enough to do so.
Lack of empowerment. There are some hotels where the front desk staff cannot offer a cup of tea or a cup of coffee to a guest without finding a manager. So if you're not empowered, then it's difficult to do that job. The other thing is giving your staff a safe space to learn and to grow, that I know that if I tried something and it didn't work, I'm not going to be penalized.
Topic number 3 focused on the tourism value chain and local spend. The participants were Mr. Peter Fraser, the former General Manager of Sandals Grenada, Mrs. Curl Grant-Hoshtialik, Chief of Operations at the Grenada Tourism Authority, and Mrs. Rosanna John Mitchell, co-owner of Spice Foodie Tours. Mr. Fraser said Grenada needs to examine the economic impact that deep diving can have on the country.
Let's look at diving. Diving is huge in Grenada. We do, about 20% of my house count are divers. Wow. They love diving in Grenada because the dive sites are very close to shore. And I'm sure all the other dive outfits, I see my friend Christine Finney sitting over there, will agree that people love to come to Grenada and dive. But we have one deep dive location, the Bianca Sea, and government need to look at that. that dive site is fastly disappearing. You can see the hull, you may see the swimming pool. In 10 years from now, I don't think it will be there. We need to start thinking about identifying another deep dive site. That's an investment the country needs to make because diving is money.
The fourth and final discussion focused on improving room stock. Grenada's room stock comprises hotels, villas, guest houses, and short-term rentals. Panelists Arlene Friday, Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, and Mr. Kieron Moore, the Manager of Quality and Sites at the Grenada Tourism Authority, discussed fare regulation, ensuring quality and safety, capturing revenue, and ensuring that all accommodation offerings contribute meaningfully to the visitor experience and the tourism economy. Ms. Friday was asked about the single biggest unfair advantage that unregulated short-term rentals have over traditional properties and the single biggest myth that hotels believe about Airbnb.
Part of the problem, I think, from the traditional hotel perspective is just that we want to level the playing field. The fact that, you know, there are certain taxes that people in the hotel industry we have to pay, and whereas many people don't have to pay that when they go unregistered, unlicensed, and again, we want those protections. It's about safety. It's about public safety. I mean, it's the visitor. The visitor comes first. So we definitely want to ensure that our visitors are safe, that Grenadians, whoever decides to stay in an Airbnb, are safe. So we want to make sure that they have all the necessary standards and procedures up to standard. So for instance, fire and safety. As we're preparing for hurricanes, are you prepared? Those are some of the things and safeguards that we're looking at when we say, how do we level the playing field between hoteliers, traditional hotels, and Airbnb models? And then I would say a common myth that we have is that, you know, many people who are hosts may not have the proper guest relations, guest experiences. But then, you know, we do know of people who stay in many of them and have a fantastic, you know, they have a fantastic time. But we want to make sure that that standard is standardized across the board.
Mr. Moore was asked about the current legal status of short-term rentals in Grenada and how many are currently registered with any government agency.
Yes, there are regulations, and many of them are operating illegally. So Act number 42 of 2013, which is a GTA Act, states that any property offering short-term stays must be licensed. So regardless of size, the amount of rooms that you have, once you are offering those stays, you must be licensed, you must be inspected, and you must pay your license fee every August 31st. How many are operating? We don't know. We did an exercise sometime last year, and we went to some of these booking platforms. And over a month, we looked for how many bookings that are hosts on that platform. Out of all those that we found about 300 listings, only 7% had licenses with the Grenada Tourism Authority. So it is a big problem for, I would say, data collection, for instance. Compliance, because we don't know what are in those accommodations in terms of safety, fire safety, health and safety, even tax compliance as well. So these are some of the issues that we are faced with.
A number of presentations were done at the symposium. One of them spoke to a Grenada Carnival Village concept being developed by the Ministry of Tourism, the Creative Economy and Culture to maximize the benefits of visitor spending during Spice Mass. The presentation was done by Mr. Orlando Romaine, advisor with responsibility for ICT and the creative economy.
What we are proposing is Marché, which is, as I mentioned, a curated, integrated event that brings together our culinary expertise. It brings together our artisans, craft and creative persons. It brings together our musicians. It brings together other service providers within the creative sector and the cultural sector into one space. Another conversation we've been hearing a lot is that when persons come to Ireland, they, besides the events, the fetes, they don't get to experience and understand the actual culture itself. Juve is probably one of the most immersive cultural experience, but they leave without narrative. There's not sufficient narrative. So as part of that, we want to ensure that there's a space within that village where persons can immerse themselves into the actual culture and understand the culture a bit more. So what we do plan to have is a product market, all right? And as I mentioned, for our culinary expertise, for our food, fashion, arts, we have a lot of persons on island who provide these services, and we believe we can extract more value from our visitors through that particular medium.
At the end of the day's activities, then Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Andy Williams, presented a plaque to former General Manager of Sandals, Mr. Peter Fraser, for his contribution to the industry. Mr. Fraser served as General Manager of Sandals Grenada from the opening of the resort in 2013.
This evening, we celebrate a man who has contributed meaningfully to Grenada's tourism industry through his professionalism, commitment, and passion for service.
I'm leaving Grenada end of June, but I'm taking a bit of Grenada with me.
Participants at the day-long symposium were drawn from the Grenada Tourism Authority, hoteliers, tour operators, tourism entrepreneurs, and others. I am Leslie Ann Johnson.